Good afternoon, teacher. Today, my classmate Alex Pomahuacre and I, Rodrigo Castañeda, explain the state of migration, a challenge at the borders. Introduction. Have you ever thought how an immigrant feels when arriving their destination, or have you ever thought about how you would feel living in a place different from your motherland? This question will be developed in the course of the essay. Body. Next, I comment the following topics that will develop in the essay. Positive contribution of immigrants. The position of politicians with barriers and laws against migration. How migration negatively affects immigrants, taking them to the brink of suicide. How culture impacts immigrants and how language influences this. The communication between an immigrant and her family. They can end up losing their family and just be simple providers of money. During the last decades, we have been talking about different aspects about immigration, like the economic impact on the recipient countries, or how immigrants may contribute culturally positively. However, some well-known politicians have declared against migration lately, promoting the building of barriers or enacting stronger laws to prevent it. None of them have considered how complex it is for a person to leave their home and family for an opportunity to live better or live free. Either migration, legally or illegally, both cause significant change in the lives of immigrants. Throughout the migration process, migrants could experience some mental disorders such as anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse, or committing to suicide. Indeed, for immigrants, adapting to their new life in the new country could be a tough challenge. Many things may appear different or weird. Language used to be one of the first barriers they must face. Some researchers suggest learning a new language makes our minds work differently and identify reality, in some cases from another point of view. Normally, language comes with culture and it makes adaptation easier, but it has at the same time an impact on the identity of the individuals.
While some will find their cultural origins strange, others will end up feeling their mother tongue or other aspect for their past life can be a hindrance. Keeping contact with their families is also affected by immigration. Family laces are important for immigrants. Is in a certain way the reason for going abroad. The effect of family members' migration on those who stay behind can be either positive or negative, depending on different factors or individual circumstances. Although remittances are potentially important means of easing family budget constraints and alleviating poverty, in a worst case scenario, the role of the immigrant becomes a choice of a simple provider for their family, and it will eventually disrupt that relationship. The conclusion are: number one is the cultural shock when one has a predefined religion of their own is a very big blow when migrating. The number two is the identity can be divided or damaged as well as strengthened. This depends on the places and the situation of the person who is migrating, as well as the way in which it's received. Then I show you some belief or custom can be seen different when going to a new place. A white practice or traditional habit could be seen unnecessary or archaic. That's when people begin to analyze if their actions, which were done for good reason, now seem out of context. Some situations happen when talking about religion. Probably before migration, you were the kind of person who was so religious because where you lived, religion is immersed in every aspect of life. Now, in the new country, it is significantly different.
Our conclusion is Taking everything in consideration, the impact of migration on the identified is huge and covers almost all the people aspects. If the impact is positive or negative will depend on individual circumstances and the way the new country welcome and assist them. Thanks for the attention, Miss.